What's up everyone, JayzTwoCents here, and it's time to bring you another one of those bonus videos where I show you how I do things behind the scenes. And I decided this would be a perfect opportunity for me to kill two birds with one stone. I can make you a video about how I do stuff, but at the same time I can update the incredibly out-of-date intro for Tech Talk, especially since we brought Tech Talk back about a month ago. It's going to be returning at the beginning of the year. We're on holiday break right now, but here is what the new intro looks like, and today I'm going to show you how I made it. It's just good enough to be better than the old one, but just bad enough to still be, you know, Jerry and I. Now today's video is sponsored by Storyblocks, a service I've been using as long as I've been doing YouTube, so that's over 5 years now. But it's exciting to see that the service has definitely expanded. It's got a marketplace where the template we're using here today I actually got from the marketplace, so I actually paid for that. But I digress. It's a service I've been using for quite a while here because I am no good. I mean no good at creating motion graphics or using After Effects or any of that. So I need people who are good at that to help me with that. That's exactly what Storyblocks does. We've got a few different services here that we're using in today's video, specifically the videos, which is Video Blocks, where we got our template that we're gonna be using, as well as audio from Audio Blocks, because we needed to add some music and stuff in there. So if you're wanting to spice up your content and you need royalty-free video and motion graphics and templates, then definitely make sure you guys look at the description below. There's a link there where you can sign up, where you're getting 7 days for free. And if you're a content creator already and you know how to do all this stuff, they have a marketplace where you can actually upload your projects to share with the world, and you get to keep 100% of the proceeds from the marketplace. In fact, that's what I did today. I actually used a marketplace template. So it's a great service, definitely worth checking out. So what I did here is I went over to the After Effects here and I looked at the intro tabs because it's all categorized. So I used intro to try and find something that was going to fit the sort of the flair and feel of Tech Talk, but without being too professional, because they've got a lot of different stuff here. And the cool part is if you hover over something, you see it gives you a preview. So you can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at without having to click on it or click off the page and create, longer browsing times. So in the intro you guys just saw me make was kind of a mashup of a few different things here, some sound effects, some music, and of course, a template from Video Blocks. So let's get started. Now this particular project was called Crazy Titles, and I thought that fit our vibe very well because Jerry and I are very weird, crazy people, if you will. We definitely blend together well because we have very different personalities. And I thought that this template with all of the sort of like wiggling titles and things kind of smacking around was perfect for the feel that I was looking for. But as you can see right here, when you look at the project, obviously that's not the one we made, right? It's S-Zone Works, I believe, was the creator of this. And as I said, it was a marketplace template, so he made some money on this, so good for you. And the nice thing about most of these creators is they have some sort of a help and info file. Like for instance here, there's 2 fonts that are used in this video. They put a link to those fonts right there. So if you don't want to have a font error, you definitely want to do that. They give contact information and some information on here, and even a help video. In this particular guy, he made a help video. Sometimes it's a Word document. So if you have any questions on how to use the template, usually they can answer it for you. Now for this one here, what I had to do was they basically made it idiot-proof, which is perfect for a guy like me. You can see over here we have no need to open. Having some basic knowledge of After Effects, this is where all assets and footage are. This is where it's going to be pulling information that is going to be playing. Like all of this right here is basically broken down into the assets folder. But if you look here at the edit or one edit text here, this is our sequence right here that allows us to be able to actually edit our text, or our composition, excuse me. It's a sequence in Premiere, it's a composition in AE. I don't want to make any AE power users mad. But if you double click that, then here is all of our text. Now obviously you guys saw on the, this is all text right here, but on the one that I made, I actually used Jerry's logo. So I'll show you how I actually incorporated that. But the pretty sweet thing is here, they've actually labeled, as you can see right here, text 1, 2, 3. So you can see this is text 4. This is text 5 and 6. So they've definitely made it easy for you. But if you also want to know which one is which, you can move your timeline cursor right here. And you can see if we just hit the little I, we can also see which one it is. It's like, oh, okay. And if you want to go a step further, you could even title this one you can actually change the text of it right here, like rename. Let's call this one here, oh, I don't know, let's call it Get Ready, because that's what we were going to use in that particular title sequence, if you remember. So now if we just double click on here, it highlights the text automatically, so we can just start typing. Let's call this one Get Ready, and I didn't want that to be blue, so we can highlight it. This is, again, just like you would do in Word or Photoshop or whatever. Change our color right here by using the eyedropper that opened up on another screen, of course, and let's just make it kind of a red color, because red has sort of been my color scheme for quite a while on this channel. Let's go ahead and change the second one here. Let's rename that to Laugh, and then we can change it here as well. Double click to Laugh. The nice thing about this particular font is it is all uppercase, so you don't have to worry about, like, you know, punctuation and stuff. But let's change that color as well. Double click, and let's make this one like kind of a bluish color. We want happy colors. And then this one here we're going to rename to Till It Hurts. The only thing that hurts is my typing skills. That's okay. Double click and Till It Hurts. And I think I even left this one this color in the one that you guys saw. So now, as you can see, we've now got this effect. Now I trimmed this part out on the original, as you guys saw, because I didn't see the need for that, because he was just advertising his name right there. But we can actually trim this down. Now I'm not going to move the whole sequence over, because when I do, it doesn't actually move the keyframes with it for the motion. So that's where my inability of knowing how to use AE very well is a problem. But this is fine, because we can trim this in Premiere or something else if we want later on. So we've got that section done right there. Now this is where I decided to add the Thursdays, right? Because we want to advertise when the show is on, right? And I'm going to change that color now to like kind of a light blue. There we go. Thursdays, and we can rename it here just so we know what's what. And then over here, just keep dragging along the timeline. This is where we want to advertise what time it is. So 5 p.m. Pacific. There we go. And all the motion that you guys see, the motion blur and the like rotation and all that stuff, this is all pre-programmed in the template. So the nice thing is if you find a template that just aligns with your needs or your taste, then it definitely takes a lot of the work out of it. And then right here, of course, because we are never really, right, we're never really on time, so that's why we put usually, right, usually. Let's not kid ourselves here like we have some sort of an actual schedule that we're good at keeping. So let's just do it like that, there, usually. This is where we're going to advertise who we are, right? So as you can see, they're advertising in the template here. It's a full HD res 1080p and 720. But this is where I decided to put in our channel names right here. So what I did was I just found text 9 doesn't actually have anything on it, right? See, it's got this line that shows through right here. I'm not sure what that is, but I just leave it. So if I go ahead and take this one here, we can make it JayzTwoCents. And then we can kind of put our color in here. I'm gonna go ahead and make this black, even though I don't know. I'm actually gonna make it red. That's what we'll do. Make that red. We'll make this black. That's fine. It's not exactly like my logo is, but it's good enough. It's fine. Maybe a little bit more of a grayish. There we go. Now this is the part where Jerry was difficult because he doesn't use just a plain font like I do for his channel. He actually has an image that he uses. So I went on the good old Googles and I downloaded his image. So what I want to do now is I just want to go ahead and drag and drop his logo down the timeline. So there it is right there. As you can see, it's just overlaying on top of everything. It's not what we want. So I'm going to bring this down to sort of the right about there, because that's sort of where the sequence that we want him in there is. And I'm going to go ahead and align it with these right here. So now as you can see, we've got this whole thing that's just like, oh, he just pops up right there and he's kind of in the way. Now we don't want this text right here, this 1080 and 720. So that is actually text 7. So if we click the little eyeball, we can see that disappears. So I'm going to remove that layer and I'm going to go ahead and push V for my grabber tool. And I'm going to kind of resize Jerry's logo here, just like that, just underneath mine. And what we're going to do now is we are going to go ahead, because text 7 right here already has all of the motion applied to it. This is pretty simple. We can just go ahead and parent Jerry's logo here to Tech 7. So what that means is anything that Tech 7 was doing, all the motion and stuff, is going to be applied to Jerry's logo. So now watch this. See how it slides in? Now it's got all the motion applied to it. And check that out. But as you can see, part of the problem here, though, is it doesn't go all the way off screen. Now, I could sit there and find the motion path and modify it and all that stuff, but I don't want to do that. And something else that's missing, too, you'll notice. See how my logo has this motion blur? It's a very natural, but Jerry's doesn't. That's just this little button right here. You gotta click this little motion blur button. Now check it out. Now Jerry's logo, when it moves, check out all that blur. Look at all that blur. The nice thing about blur is it allows us to mask things like what I'm about to do right here, where we can slide, actually just do this. We can slide Jerry's logo over like this. And then as soon as it goes up, right there, we can actually just trim that. And the motion blur will take care of the rest, where it looks like it kept going off screen because your eyes just make it think it did. And that's what you get. So as you can see now it just looks like it just right off screen, but it really didn't. It really stopped right there. So yeah, that's a little trick that I used right there. Motion blur hides a lot of imperfections too. Why do you think Hollywood loves motion blur so much? So the other thing right here too is now we got to change this easy to use to the actual Tech Talk, or this guy right here, the actual Tech Talk, because that's what, you know, we are. We're talking about Tech Talk here. So we're going to highlight this. We're going to change this to white. Now if we highlight the whole word, we can go over here to the right where the character adjustments are, and we can actually add a little stroke to it. I'll make it just not quite totally black. There we go. Now you can read the word tech much, much better. And I'm gonna make the talk less maroon and more red, not purple. We want red. There we go. And then the other little joke here is tech not included, right? Because another thing is everyone says, Jay, you don't talk about enough tech on Tech Talk. Well, I mean, the whole show is brought to you via technology. So I don't know. I guess that works too. Oops, I don't want the V. I'm bad. All right, so there's that, and then this is what we get right there, Tech Talk, tech not included. And then, of course, we need to change their crazytitles.com, a little plug to the creator of this template, and we can go ahead and make it www.youtube.com/JayzTwoCents. And then we need to obviously change the color on that. We're gonna make it red once again. Boom. And then a little glass shatter effect they already had. Now, obviously, there's no music on the background of this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come back over here to the left. We're going to go here to our assets, our final. So that's an assets folder, final. This is all of these different things stacked right here in the final composition. So I'm going to take the music that I found over on Storyblocks, drop it in over here. And the nice thing is it was actually the perfect length. So as you saw, if we look at the timeline here, you can see the length is perfect. So if we just go ahead and play that. So it couldn't have been any more perfect because the audio clip that I chose was actually about 23 seconds long. As you can see right here, we've got a 24-second timeline with a little bit of buffer in the beginning for us to use transitions and all of that without actually cutting off any of the actual intro. So it worked out perfect. And then to export it, it's pretty simple. Just go up to File, go up to Export, add to Adobe Media Encoder Q, and then it will pop up in Encoder, and then you can just render it like you normally would. So you just go File and choose your preset. I'm using 1080p HD for YouTube. Choose your save location, hit the green button, and it renders. And then that is what you get. So guys, it's just that simple. The nice thing about these templates, it allowed me as someone who has not used After Effects in years, probably been about 2 years since I've used After Effects, to get in here and simply just make something that worked and was perfect for my needs, quick and easy. In about, this video was about, what, 20 minutes long? And you saw I went from nothing to a working intro in about 20 minutes, having no power user knowledge in AE whatsoever. So that's what makes services like Video Blocks and Storyblocks perfect, because you've got the marketplace, which means guys like you watching this who know what you're doing can help guys like me who don't and actually make money on that. So that's a huge benefit. Make sure, guys, if you are content creators, check out the marketplace and get 100% of the profit on your work. So anyway, it's time to go. Check out the link down below for your 7 days for free and having access to the entire marketplace here on Storyblocks for whether it be audio, clip art, vector art, videos, motion backgrounds, you name it, they've got it. They sponsored this video, and I am hugely grateful for that because now I've got this particular video, or this intro, ready to go for Tech Talk, which is way overdue. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you got any suggestions on any more of these creator corners and things you want to know about how I create these videos for you guys, let me know, and I will do my best to accommodate. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.